Don't spend the 1920 coins that you see in this video because they sold online for a lot of money, and the last thing you want to happen to you is to accidentally sell some of these coins for too little amount of money, just like this coin right here that sold for $15,600. But first, we're going to talk about this coin that is a 1920 Lincoln wheat cent penny coin that sold for $1,920. So this coin was graded by a company called PCGS at a mint state 66 plus. Now when it comes to grading your coin, 70 is the highest grade and 66 is a very high grade for this specific coin. Do keep in mind that 1909 was the first year the United States started producing Lincoln wheat cent coins like this. You'll also notice that PCGS designated this as a red coin, so these coins can come either red, brown, or brown depending on environmental conditions and the type of metal the coin was actually struck on. But just know that the red coins will typically fetch more money than red, brown, and brown coins, but that's not always the case. There's plenty of coins that we go over that sell for a lot more money in the red, brown, and brown category, but just generally speaking, that is the case. One thing you'll notice on this coin is that there is no mint mark below the date. So typically there's going to be a small little letter below or around the date of a coin. That signifies where the coin was produced. Because this coin does not have a mint mark, it means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Now, depending on where your coin was produced, whether it's Philadelphia, San Francisco, or Denver, that can dictate the value of the coin based on supply and demand. You know, how many coins were actually produced. So long story short, the reason why this coin sold for $1,980 is because the high grade of a mint state 66 plus, it's a red color coin graded by PCGS and it's from 1920 from the Philadelphia Mint. If you have a coin that looks like this, hold on to it tightly because $1,980 for that coin. So before the Jefferson nickel, the US produced what we call buffalo nickels. Now buffalo nickels are highly collectible, especially in the high graded conditions like this one that got graded by PCGS at a mint state 64. So this 1920 coin is a San Francisco minted coin. You can tell on the back bottom center below 5 cents there is that small little S mint mark. This beautiful coin sold for $2,640. Now before the Roosevelt dime, the US started producing the Mercury dimes. Now this is a Mercury dime. It's a beautiful coin. I love the designs on this specific piece of US history. This 1920 D Mercury dime sold for $3,120, and here's why. So the first thing you're going to see is that D mint mark on the back bottom center area of the coin, and the next thing I want to point out is the full bands. Now the full bands on this specific coin are located on the back center of that hatchet. You're going to see 3 different bands horizontally. Now these areas on the coin are the highest point on this specific coin. They do get worn down the quickest during circulation, and they are the hardest to strike during the minting process. Do realize that you can still have the full bands on a coin that is not mint state. However, a company like PCGS and NGC are only really going to designate the full bands on a coin that is mint state. Mint state means it never went out into circulation and it's in a high graded condition. Another thing I want to point out on this coin really quickly is that toning. Now that toning is that brownish orange coloration that you're seeing all over the coin. That really is from the oxidation process based upon where the coin is stored. So if you store a coin in a certain condition, the air is going to oxidize with the metals, changing the color of the coin. Now oxidation or toning like this can either impact the coin negatively or positively based upon the overall eye appeal and if a collector really likes what they're looking at. Some collectors may look at this and think, wow, that is really not attractive, while others may think to themselves, that is a beautiful looking coin. I'm going to bid a lot of money on that specific coin. What you need to know here is that if you have a 1920 Mercury dime and it's in good condition like this, there's a chance that you could sell your coin for a lot of money online, just like this person did for $3,120. So this is a 50-cent piece from the United States. We call this a Walking Liberty half dollar. This one is from 1920. It got graded by CAC at a 65 plus grade. So CAC is a company that will typically add a sticker to the holder, but recently they decided that they're going to start grading coins. So all you really have to care about is that if you have a 1920 Walking Liberty half dollar like this and it's in good condition, you might want to get it graded by NGC, CAC, or by PCGS because that will really increase the value of your coin. Now don't get me wrong, the majority of you guys listening should probably not get your coins graded unless you actually have something rare. rare. I would say the majority of people that get their coins graded don't really make money from it because most people don't know how to grade the coins and they don't know what to get graded. This coin sold for $3,480 for the 50-cent Walking Liberty half dollar. Here's a beautiful United States $20 gold piece. There's an eagle on the back and you've got Liberty on the front there. This one graded by PCGS at a mint state 64 and it sold for $5,040. Here we have a 1920 1-cent Lincoln coin graded by PCGS at a mint state 64. Now the special thing about this specific coin that you must pay attention to is that it's an experimental planchet. Now what does that mean? Experimental planchets are essentially the US was experimenting with different metals, seeing what would hold up in circulation, how it would strike. So pretty much on this coin you have a piece of metal that is not the typical metal the coin is struck on. This coin sold for $5,280 and the way you can tell if you have one of these coins is by weighing it. You can see there this is an experimental planchet weighing in at 3.1 grams and it's about 82% copper, 16% zinc, and 2% tin. So if you have a 1920 Lincoln cent, you should weigh it to see if it weighs 3.1 grams because it could be struck on an experimental planchet like this one that sold for $5,280. $3,600 for this 50-cent 1920 Liberty half dollar coin. Very beautiful coins that we have here in the United States. It's too bad they still don't manufacture and mint coins like this. This one got a phenomenal grade of a mint state 67. Do keep in mind that 70 is the highest grade and 70 is a very, very challenging grade to get, especially on these old coins. It's nearly impossible to get this high of a grade, but they got that 67 grade, which is only 3 points away from the perfect grade of 70, and this coin sold for $3,600. Another buffalo nickel here, except this one was double struck and the second strike is off center. This one got graded by NGC at a mint state 63 and it sold for $9,300. So if you have a coin like this, you want to hold on to it safely. Last but not least, we have the coin that sold for $15,600. Now if you want to sell a coin like this, I'll tell you exactly how to after I go over this coin. So this coin, like I said, 1920, except this one has an S mint mark standing for the San Francisco Mint where this coin was produced. This one got graded by PCGS at a mint state 65 red. So we do know what the red means. It's just the coloration of the coin. This one got graded just 5 points away from the perfect grade of 70. So just realize that if this coin would have graded at a 66 or a 67, it would have sold for a lot more money than $15,600. But the biggest factor here is going to be that grade and the fact that it is an S mint marked coin. Another thing you want to keep in mind is when the coins are being sold. Market timing is very, very important. If you sell your coin at a market low, obviously you're going to get less money than if you were to sell it at a market high. This beautiful example sold for $15,600 because it sold recently, only a few months ago. I was making this video for $15,600. Now, even if you're watching this video in the future, whether it's 5 or 10 years from now, there's still value in what you're learning here. So if I was to get this coin and I knew nothing about coins or currency, what I would do is this. I would go to 3 different coin shops near me. I would get their opinion and see what they would value my coins at. Then if they all tell you about the same price, I would use that and try to sell the coin. Keep in mind, the majority of the coins that you have are not going to be rare at all, but all it takes is one coin for you to really make a lot of money from a rare coin that is out there in circulation. Now, we're offering a completely free coin and currency ebook down below. Make sure you check that out. It's completely free, no strings attached, and we'll see you in the next video.